Pick one now.
All right, once again, good morning everyone to our coding club for January 2021, running from the 4th to the 22nd of January. We've had an absolutely awesome week so far. Well, I hope you have. I know that I certainly have. I feel like I'm even stiff today from all of our jumping and dancing yesterday. That really was just so much fun. Just a reminder, if you don't know who I am, well, my name is Mr. Olsen, or Mr. O, or Mr. Oti, or Mr. Omo, or Mr. Oh no, for when I make a mistake, because that sure does happen often, but thankfully we can learn from our mistakes. So good morning, everyone. So great to see you in the chat room and in the room. Remember, if you've got a question, if you want to add in, then you can put your hand up. Otherwise, if you do drop a message into the chat, then I will see that and I will pick up on that as well. All right. I mentioned yesterday, let's see who was listening, or maybe you weren't here yesterday and you still know how to answer. My first question for you this morning to get your brain going just a little bit, Dennis the dog, the coding dog here, who's probably making a cat chasing game or something like that, is asking you, what is coding? Whoa, Blessing's hand is just shot up there. I wonder if Blessing has been listening very nicely and thinking lots as we've been going through the lessons. Let's hear, Blessing, what do you think coding is?
Telling the robot what to do for you.
Oh, I like that definition. Telling a robot or a computer to do something for us. And I absolutely love that. Okay, let's hear from Yolanda as well. Yes, or I think it's Jessica. Yes, what is coding?
Coding is for language, and I have a new language.
Absolutely brilliant. I love that. Learning the language that our computers and robots speak and speaking into that. Thank you for that, Jessica. That is such a great definition. In fact, we're going to talk into that just a little bit later. But first, what we are going to have a look at is some of the thinking and some of the work that you guys have been doing. So let's have a look what some of you have done. We've got Rafielwe's pattern. This was from, I think it was Tuesday, when we were looking at patterns, and Rafielwe went and found some tomatoes and some milk and found that you can repeat a pattern with them, that patterns are absolutely everywhere. I really also like how the tomatoes are, they seem like the same tomato. I feel like this could be a mirror that's being held up to them. Very, very cool pattern over there. Well done. We've also got Bernice's robot. Look how awesome this robot is. I wonder what those buttons do. I wonder if that flower does anything. Maybe that flower waters other flowers. What a cool robot that would be. Oh, well done on that, Bernice. I'm not sure if you're in the room this morning yet. Oh, yes, you are. So great to see you and see that work and that thinking. Keep going, keep dreaming big, because, you know, if we learn coding and we work really hard, oh, we're going to be able to build some amazing things and create some amazing things that are going to help a lot of people. Let's see what else we've got. We've got Nika's pattern made with some building blocks. And I love this pattern. We've got two sets of patterns over here. And what I really like about this second one, so this first one, we've got a kind of slopey blue block, and then a skinny yellow block, and then blue, and then yellow, and then blue. And then in the second pattern, look over here, because this is a really interesting concept. I love this, where we've got a skinny yellow block, and then a bigger block that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 studs, and then another skinny block, and then another block that's a different color, but it's the same size. So we can have a pattern that looks at one part of an item, but not necessarily all of it. That is some really, really great thinking. I really like that pattern. Klami has their hand up. Let's hear from Klami.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic in you this morning. Are you ready to learn some coding this morning?
Yes.
Oh, yes, you sound a little bit unsure. Is everyone else ready to do some coding this morning and some learning? Fantastic. I am too. Okay, now this next one has got a bit of audio with it as well. So let's listen to this amazing algorithm. Okay, let's hear this first one.
These are the seeds that you plant.
Now wait, what's your name and what is this algorithm for?
My name is Aiden, and this is my algorithm of how a plant grows. You first plant the seeds, then you water the seeds, then you let the seeds to get bright with the sun, then roots, then a shoot, then a flower.
Very good. Well done, Aiden. Great algorithm.
I agree with that. Very nice, Aiden.
Explain your algorithm. What is your name and what is the algorithm for?
My name is Tristan, and this is the algorithm for making a cake. So first we
making
get
a
the
cake.
mixing bowl, then we get all the ingredients, then we crack the eggs, then we put oil in, then we put milk, then we pour it into the baking tray, then we put the baking tray in the oven, then we cut it into 3 pieces, then we put icing on the 3 pieces, then we stack them on top of each other, and then we put Smarties.
Smarties.
And then we put Smarties on the top, and voila, you have a lovely cake.
Amazing. Great job.
I agree with that. That is absolutely phenomenal. What awesome algorithms these two have come up with and explained so nicely. And with either of those, if you did them in the wrong order and it went kind of wonky, well, then you probably would have a plant that just wouldn't grow, or you would have a cake that just didn't set. And I know I've seen those. I've only made 1 or 2 cakes in my life, and the first one didn't go right because I did something in the wrong order. So algorithms are incredibly important, and you're going to see how important they are for computers as well as we learn to code. We've also got an awesome algorithm by Blessing over here, which is also for growing plants. I love that we love to grow plants. Isn't that so cool? Because that's going to give us lots of oxygen, and just looking at them, just does something to you. It makes you feel relaxed and a little bit more happy. You know what we could also build one day could be a robot that automatically waters our plants for us. In fact, a friend and I are working on just that, so we can do some automated farming, a farm that doesn't even need people there, that just runs by itself. Whew, doesn't that just sound exciting? We'll be able to grow so much food for so many people. But what are we doing today? We're going to try to talk the language of a computer. What language do you think a robot would use? What do you think a robot would sound like when it talks? You can put your hand up for this one. Try to think, what do you think a robot or a computer would say if it could talk? Okay, we're starting with Bernice. Yes, Bernice, what do you think a robot would say? What would it sound like? Oh, maybe it is just silent. Okay, Bernice, you there? Okay, otherwise let's go to Zoe, and then we will come back to you. Yes, Zoe, what do you think a robot would sound like?
Like beep, beep,
I like that beep, beep, boop, meep, mop. That's very cool. Let's also hear from, Tristan and Aiden again after your awesome algorithm. Well done with that. What do you think a robot would sound like?
1 0 1 0 0 1.
Whoa.
It's binary.
Yes, binary, absolutely. It's like you're reading ahead. Very, very good. I want you all to remember those, what Tristan and Aiden were saying there. There are 1s and 0s and something called binary. Oh, we're going to be investigating that over the next few weeks as well. Okay, let's hear from Refilwe. Refilwe, what do you think a robot would sound like?
Good morning. What would you
like
to do?
Oh,
I could make something for you.
That's absolutely fantastic. You know, it can even say exactly what we wanted it to say, but maybe it would have quite a mechanical voice. Good morning to you. What would you like me to do? I like that it rhymes as well. There's a pattern in that. Okay, let's hear from just 1 or 2 more people. Let's hear from Kanya. Kanya, what do you think a robot would sound like, or a computer would sound like?
It would sound like beep boop, beep 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 boop beep.
Lots of beeps and meep mops and boops are absolutely brilliant. I think that's very, very fun. Okay, let's hear from just maybe 2 more people. Let's hear from Blessing first, and then from Tlami. Blessing, what do you think a robot or a computer would sound like? maybe it would be silent. Okay, Blessing, we'll come back to you again. Let's try for Klami. Klami, what do you think a computer or a robot would sound like?
It would be like 101010.
Oh, we're hearing a lot of 1 zeros. Yes. Very interesting. Okay, okay. Let's see if we can hear from Bernice now. Bernice, what do you think a robot or a computer might sound like? Okay, still not quite ready yet. Don't worry, we'll have lots of other times to interact with each other as well. Let's hear from Sipesihle. Sipesihle, what do you think a robot or a computer might sound like?
Beep, bop, beep, beep, bop.
I like that beep, bop, and meep, mop, and all those things. I wonder what made us think of that at the start. What was the first robot that went beep, bop, and meep, mop? Whoever started doing that, they're brilliant, because everyone knows that if you have a robot, it might make a sound like beep, bop, or meep, mop. Okay, let's try one more time for Blessing, and then we're going to move forward. Blessing, what do you think a robot might sound like? Or a computer even? Okay, remember to click that unmute button just so that we know that you are talking and we can all hear you. Okay, otherwise we'll come back to you and instead we'll go to Annalise. Annalise, yes, what do you think a robot or a computer might sound like?
Beep, boop, beep, beep.
That's awesome. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Very, very cool. Okay. So what we do know is that if we just speak to a robot, you know, one of the ones that we've made over here, like Bernice's robot that we saw earlier, or any of the other robots that we've been kind of thinking of, if we just said to them, go make me a cake, well, it would probably just stand there. I mean, if you speak to your computer right now, or whatever you're watching and listening on now, and you said, go make me a cake, well, I can pretty much bet that it won't just go make you a cake. It doesn't understand. We need to know the right language for it. So let's think around languages just a little bit more. And I think we can learn so much from each other when we learn different languages. I only know 2 languages, or maybe I could say 3 because I know coding. I haven't thought of that before. I know 3 languages. Okay, but how many languages do you know? What languages can you say something like good morning, or I love Dennis the dog, or what should we learn? Can anybody speak any other languages other than, let's say, English? Who would like to say good morning, or I love Dennis the dog, or what should we learn in a different language? Kayaletu wants to tell us. Kayaletu, yes, what language are you going to say? And then please say it.
Hello, Tumela Absheni. Hello, Tumela Dasha. Hello.
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 Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Kailetu. And what language is that? Please tell us.
English.
And?
And Sisutu.
English and Sisutu. That's very, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that it was in a song form as well. Okay. And let's hear from Klami. Yes, Klami, what language are you going to use? And then what would you like to say?
Only English.
Oh, only
English.
Oh, okay. You just got English. Well, that's all right. As you learn to code, and as you know, in South Africa, we have got so many languages. So I know that you're going to learn lots more languages as we can go. Jessica can greet in Afrikaans, in Zulu, and Tswana. Oh, absolutely awesome. That's brilliant. I like it. When you learn different languages, it just does such great stuff to your brain and helps you to learn more and more languages. So as you start to learn more languages, then you can learn more languages. Okay, let's hear from Audrey. Audrey, yes, what language are you going to use and what would you like to say? Oh, please say that again, just a little bit louder so we can hear you. Okay, that sounds very interesting. I'm not even quite sure what language that is, but maybe we'll hear a little bit more as we go on. Okay, let's try blessing again. Yes, blessing. What are you going to say in what language?
I'm blessing Baloy.
Yes, blessing. And can you speak any other languages?
Baloy.
Baloy. Oh, very interesting. Okay. And do you know what your surname means? What does Baloy mean? That'll be a great one to research and to find out as we go along. Thank you for sharing that, Blessing. Yes, in our surnames, we're going to see a lot of different languages in our surnames. I mean, mine is Olsen, and I already spoke about how my ancestors are all the way from Norway, and that's how I got that. And we've got surnames like Longo and Baloy and Kanameyer, and all of these are from different languages. Very, very cool. What great diversity. Okay, let's hear just from Bernice. Yes, Bernice, can you speak any other languages? You there, Bernice? Okay, thank you for trying. And even if we don't all hear it, well, it's fun to try out these in different languages. Okay, let's go to Annelies. Annelies, yes, can you say any of these in any? Oh, goeiemorgen. There we go. Afrikaans, that's one of the other ones that I can speak. Thank you very much for that. That's a great way of saying good morning. Oh, and let's hear from Audrey. Yes, Audrey.
Bonjour.
Ah, bonjour.
That's French.
That is French. Absolutely fantastic. Very, very nice. What a lovely language. My mom can speak French. That's very cool. I didn't learn it from her, though. I kind of wish I had. Okay, let's hear from Tristan and Aiden. Yes, Tristan and Aiden, what language do you guys have and what can you say? You guys unmuted? Not quite. Yes, what language do you guys got?
Aloha.
Aloha. Oh, that's very, very cool. Oh, absolutely fantastic. We've got just in our national anthem alone, we've got so many languages. I can't even remember how many languages we've got in our awesome national anthem, but just by doing that, by singing that, then we can learn so many more languages. Okay, cool. Let's hear from just two more people. We're going to hear from Sipesihle and from Faith. Sipesihle, yes, what languages can you speak and what can you say? Oh, please say that again, just a little bit louder.
isiZulu.
Oh, can you speak isiZulu? Okay. Ngiyafuna isiZulu. I'm learning. I want to know more isiZulu. So maybe one day you'll be able to help me with that. Oh, thank you very much for sharing that. And lastly, let's hear from Faith about languages that we can all, or that many of us can speak. Yes, Faith.
Mr. O.
Oh, good morning. So great to hear from you, Faith. Yes, what languages can you speak or what can you say in your languages?
I can speak Venda.
Oh, can you speak Venda?
Yes. In Venda, I say the Macharoni.
Whoa. And what does that mean?
Good morning.
Oh, that sounds like such an awesome way of saying good morning. Thank you so much for sharing that. We've heard some isiZulus, some Tswana, some, oh no, it was Sotho. We've heard, that's brilliant that we've got all of these languages. But if we met each other and we didn't know each other's language, oh, it would make communicating and understanding each other really quite challenging. There are still some things that we could do with each other, to be sure. But if we really wanted to understand each other, we would need to speak the same language. So then, what language does a computer understand? Well, we've got a screen there of lots of ones and zeros. And you've even heard a few people saying binary, that computers speak binary. So what that means is that computers only actually understand ones and zeros. So 1001, 11011, that's all a computer knows, that in its processor, that's what it is understanding and using that to put pictures on our screen, to play us music, to do mathematics. That's all that it understands. But I don't know about you, but if I just went over to a computer and I just started pushing in ones and zeros, I still wouldn't know what to do. I mean, I can code, but I still don't know how to just use ones and zeros. We need a program that will help us to change everything that we're doing every single time we push a button, to change that into ones and zeros. And that's going to be a development environment. So here's just an example of what a computer might do and how it understands numbers, where we would read the number 1, and we know the number 1, a computer just knows 0. If we made 2, then we would go, oh, I've actually got this in the wrong order over here. Let me just get to the main part of it, is that computers will just understand ones and zeros. Something like 7 will be 1, 1, 1, 6 will be 1, 1, 0. We'll look into binary and even make some pictures with binary next week. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But what are we going to use to code? What are we going to use to give the computer instructions and make games and make stories and maybe even some jokes along the way? We're going to be using a program called ScratchJr. And what ScratchJr does is it takes the code that we're using. You're going to see we'll be using some blocks. They don't even have words on it. So this is just an example of the slightly more grown-up version of Scratch. And we just drag those blocks over, we click them onto each other, and then our computer does stuff. This is one language that we can speak to our computer, or a robot eventually, that will get it to do the stuff that we want it to do. So moms and dads, I hope you are there, because we are going to go through a little bit of the process of where you can get ScratchJr. It is a completely free program developed by MIT. That's the Michigan Institute of Technology. It's known and regarded as one of the best universities in the whole world, one of the best places to learn technology and thinking and creativity and innovation and engineering in the world. It's an absolutely phenomenal place, and they've given us many of these things for free. They're some of my greatest heroes at that place. Okay. So ScratchJr can be installed on a computer, a laptop, you know, or a big box computer, a desktop computer. It can be installed on a tablet, or it can be installed on a phone. I want to quickly show you what you would do for a tablet or a phone. Don't worry if you don't keep up with me now, parents, because you're going to be able to, this is recorded, and you will be able to come back to it if you miss out on anything. So you might not even be able to code along this morning, and that's all right. I'm just going to give you a tour and an overview of all of it so we can understand it just a little bit better. If you do have ScratchJr installed, then you can follow along a little bit as well. Okay. So on your mobile or your tablets, whether you have an iOS device, you know, an iPhone or an iPad, something like that, you will look for ScratchJr. So you'll do a search for ScratchJr. This that you see down here is on an Android device. So that'll be something like Samsung or Xiaomi or something like that. If you have a Huawei phone, then I will show you how to do that in just a moment, because it isn't in the app gallery that I've seen just yet. It will come eventually, I'm quite sure of it. But if you are on mobile, tablet, iOS device, Android, you just search for ScratchJr, and this is the one that you are looking for. There are going to be others that say, learn ScratchJr and ScratchJr games and all sorts of things like that. You're looking for the one that is just called ScratchJr and has this little cat. I'm surprised that Dennis the dog isn't just running after and chasing ScratchJr the cat over there. Okay, so once you've found it, then you'll just push install, and then you will be able to use it. Okay. So what we will use to get the desktop version, the one for you to install on your computer, that's the one that I'm going to be using. It is ever so slightly different to the one on mobile. You can use either, no problems at all. You can use it on your mobile or tablet or on the desktop, but it does look just ever so slightly different. There are 1 or 2 little changes because of copyright things, but we're going to be getting that from the website misszora.co.za. And I want to show you what that is going to look like. So I'm just going to navigate to the Miss Zora website for you to see. You're going to see that pop up in just a moment. Here we go. So in your address bar on any browser that you have, you can type in misszora.co.za. Once you are here, you can follow us on all of the social media platforms, and then you can click sign up. When you click sign up, it's going to give you, I mean, you can already see my username over there because I've already signed up. I'm in here. So this is for moms and dads to do who have email addresses. You're also going to need to confirm your account as you go through it. And don't worry, boys and girls, I know this is kind of like, oh, come on, Mr. Olsen, can we just do some more dancing? Let's just get through this nice and quickly so that we can get onto some coding and some more fun things. Okay, so you're going to go through, select your country, select all of these things, and then choose the grade that you are in now, or that you would have started this year, that you're going to start this year. This is going to help us to organize as you grow up. As we go through this, we'll be able to see your projects and all sorts of things. Okay, so once you have done that and confirmed your email address, then you are going to be able to log in. And once you log in, then it'll take you here to your dashboard. On your dashboard, you are probably going to want to go ahead straight away and click Miss Zora blocks. You're welcome to do that, but that is more for a reader level. So as soon as you're starting to read and you've got your head around Scratch a little bit more, you can use that. Otherwise, you're going to be looking down here where it says unleash your creativity and non-stop fun for younger children, grades R to 3. We recommend ScratchJr. That's just what for Windows or Mac and Android. Okay, so if you are on a Windows machine, which is quite possibly most of us over here, if you click here, then you will be able to download it and run the setup. There is a little screen that pops up as you are running through the setup that says, are you sure? Is this a safe one? Is this a trusted one? And yes, it is. We've moved it over here to our platform because Miss Zora is 0 data rated, which means all the things that we put up here for certain mobile networks, you won't need to worry about using up all your data for that. Okay, so that's Windows, Mac as well. If you've got a MacBook or an iMac or a MacBook Air, one of those, then you'll download that one. And if you are on a Huawei phone, if you use Huawei and you haven't been able to find this in an app gallery and you want to use ScratchJr on there, then you're going to come over here to Android. You'll download that. That downloads a file called a .apk. And then once that's downloaded, you can push run and install. It might say, hey, hold on, this isn't trusted. You know, are you sure you want to do this? You can, and you can change that security feature back afterwards because this is the safe version of that. Okay, I see we've just got a question from Bernice. Yes, Bernice, what would you like to ask? Yes, Bernice, anything you'd like to ask or say?
So what's gonna happen if your parents is now here?
Ah, okay. So then your parents, you can let them know that you want to download ScratchJr on either a phone or a tablet or one of those, any of those, even on a computer. And if they've missed out a little bit on this whole thing that I've just spoken through, that's okay. It is going to be up on our YouTube channel and you will be able to revisit there if you're not sure where you can install it and where you can use it. Okay. So don't worry if your parents aren't there right now. Please do just ask them to help you with installing ScratchJr on one of your devices. Okay, so I know that was a lot. That was kind of boring. I was like, oh, okay, but sometimes we've got to go through the boring stuff to get to the really exciting stuff. So now I'm going to switch over to ScratchJr. When you open up ScratchJr for the first time, so this could be if you are on mobile, if you're on a laptop, if you're on a desktop computer. I'm using the desktop version. Next week at some point, I will show you what it looks like on Android as well, on a phone as well. But for now, I'm going to show you some of the cool things that we could do in ScratchJr. So when you arrive here, you're going to see a settings, you're going to see a question mark for if you've got a question. We'll look through those a little bit later. But what you will do to get started is you will tap or click the home button. What this is going to do is show you all of the projects that you have made, if you have made any. And if you haven't yet, you're going to be able to create a brand new project by tapping or clicking the plus over here. I want to show you one of the things that I made previously. I'll show you two of them, and then I'm going to show you a little bit on how I made it, because I've got a challenge for you before we go by the end of this, okay? So I want to show you this one. This one I just called kind of storytelling. Oh, this was a fun one to make. And this is one that I made entirely in ScratchJr. There'll be some words and I will tell you what they are, okay? So when I click the green flag, I've set up my code that when I click the green flag, it says, hey bro, you look a little lost. And then he says, what? You're a polar bear on the beach. And a polar bear says, you raise a fair point. Roar! And then he eats him and he disappears. I had entirely too much fun making that one. You know, we can also record and make sounds with Scratch. Let's see what one looks like that has some sounds. We will talk through all of this in a moment. So I know there's a lot going on, but I just want to show you some of the things that you can do. So when I click the green flag, we've got a horse off in the distance who hops around, does all that. And if I tap or click on the horse, it makes a neigh sound and hops and runs away over there. And our chicken even makes just an absolutely wonderful chicken sound when we click on it there. And this is a background that you can see. It's one that I drew and that I made besides the barn. So we're going to be able to create, to draw, to record sounds, to control and make games and make stories and understand lots of cool things. Okay, so let's have a look what it looks like when we start a brand new project. Now, this is where it's going to look just a little bit different if you are on mobile, if you're on an iPad, or if you're on a tablet or something like that. If you're on one of those and you start the program, you'll see Scratch the cat, not this guy who's called Tick over here. So this is Tick, and he's our first character or sprite. In some cases, you're going to hear someone call that an object. In fact, you might hear me say object sometimes. So here we've got Tick, our character, our sprite, and at the moment, he does absolutely nothing. When I click the green flag, he does nothing. When I click on him, he does nothing. Oh, Tick, you don't do anything right now. Well, Tick, just move around. Tick, jump. Tick, spin around. He's not doing any of it. Oh, well, let me hear from you guys. What do you guys think I need to do to get Tick to do something? Anything. What do you think I should try? Because we don't all have this program now. Let's see if we can work on this together. What do you think we could do to get Tick to move around just somewhere, to do something, for goodness sake, Tick? Okay, let's hear from Stephen. Yes, Stephen, what do you think we should do? Yes, Stephen, what do you think we should
Do coding.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we've got to use coding in some way. That's okay. Okay, I like that. We've got to use coding. We've got to speak the same language here so that he actually does something. Okay, let's hear from Enclay. Yes, Enclay, what do you think we should do to get Tick to move or do something?
You should click a button so you can move forward.
Ah, okay, very interesting. Thank you, Enclay. We could click a button to move him forwards. What if I click this button? Oh, okay, that's what that does. That makes a grid and it moves numbers around. Okay, that didn't really move him forward. Oh, so we're going to try and find, will this move him forward? No, that one just undoes something that we did. What if I click this? No, not that one. Okay, so we've got to click on something. That's helpful. Let's hear from Klami. Klami, what do you think we should do?
Speak the right language. You must speak the right language to the computer.
Yes, absolutely right. We've got to use coding. We've got to speak the right language to this computer. So what if we speak in Afrikaans? Tick, jy moet daarso gaan. Gaan vorentoe. I spoke Afrikaans to him and I said, go forward, go over there, but he didn't do it. Oh man, so that language isn't working. We need to know some kind of coding language. Oh, okay, let's hear from Kaeletu. Kaeletu, what do you think we should do?
Press one of these buttons of the colors.
Oh, okay, which color do you think we should push?
Push the blue arrow.
The blue arrow, okay.
Yes.
There are two blue arrows. Okay, let's see if we click this one. Oh, then it actually tells me, oh, yes, this one, okay. It tells me what that one does. When I click that one, and whoa, when I click or tap on these, it tells me what these do. Oh, that is absolutely awesome. But he's still not moving. Okay, Okay, so we've made some progress here. That's brilliant, Kylie. So we've made some progress, which helps us with understanding what some of these do, but he's still not doing them. Okay, let's see if we can work it out just a little bit more. Yes, Bernice, what do you think we should do? Make sure you click unmute and let's hear. What do you think we should do?
So we first have to program it. Then then we first have to understand which language this program talks, and then we must build it.
Very, very good thinking. You know, you've used a really good algorithm for how we might approach this problem. You've said, okay, cool. Well, first thing we need to do is know, well, we want to program it. So we're going to know which language this program actually speaks. And this program speaks a coding language called Blockly. Can you say Blockly? Blockly, good. And Blockly is this, where we use blocks to get our characters and get our story and get our program, our computer to do what we want. That's some great thinking. Let's hear from Sipisikle. Yes, Sipisikle, what do you think we could do?
If you could create something, then you could create a train or something.
Oh, a train. That does sound very, very cool. We could create a train. In fact, if we wanted to add in something, let's go look if there's a train. If I want to add in a new character, I'm going to look over here on the left-hand side of the screen where there's the plus, and I'm going to tap or click on that plus. Whoa, and here it shows us all of the characters that we can use. We've got boys and girls. We've got a diver. Oh, we've got trees. We've got planets. We've got a barn. And do we have a train? Oh, we've got some other things over here, but we don't have a train. But why don't we add in another character? Which character should we add in? Okay, let's come back to adding in a character in a moment, because now we're focusing on Tick. We still want to get Tick to do something, and we've got to figure out how to do that. Yes, Blessing, what do you think we should do?
Press the color buttons and put the blue buttons next together, and then you press.
Yes, please. Now we're thinking. Oh, fantastic. What we can see from this program is that we don't need to be worried about doing something wrong or clicking the wrong button or something going terribly. We can just try things out. I mean, I'll click that. It just kind of does a funny sound at me, but that's okay. We can click or tap these buttons. Oh, whoa, and they show different pictures. And when I click on them and I click on that, whoa, it shows me that if I've got this button over here, that means that it starts on green flag. And we heard that if we put them next to each other, you'll see that in a moment, then we can actually get it to do something. Okay, let's hear from 3 last people, and then I'm going to show you if we don't run out of time. Okay, yes, Klami, what do you think we should do?
Arrows for your robot to move.
Okay, so you say we need some arrows for our robot to move. Okay. Yeah. Okay, very good. We need to actually use these arrows to put them somewhere. Okay, let's try that. Let's try and put it up here. Oh, no, not there. Let's try there. Nope, not there. Let's try down here. Oh, hey, it stayed. Whoa, okay. So if we want to code Tick to do something, we need to take our blocks from up here and bring them down here. Let me see if I just click on this, if something happens. Oh, did you see it? Did you see it? He moved. Guys, we did it. We got Tick to move. Okay. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Let's quickly hear from Kanya and Enclair. Yes, Kanya, what would you like to add?
I would like to, you could say robot language to make it move.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we could use a kind of robot language to make it move. In fact, what we've got down here, this is our code. This little block over here, this arrow, this is our code, which tells Tick to move. So whenever we use this block, then he or she, I don't know, he, let's go with he for now, he moves. Oh, That's awesome. Okay, Enche, let's hear. What do you want to add?
Move. You must put 5 so I can move 5 times.
Whoa, you've seen something really cool. We've got these little blocks over here, and at the bottom there are numbers. And if I click on that number, it's going to let me increase or decrease that number. I could have 1 there, I could have 2, 3, 4, or 5. Let's put in 5. Let's see what happens if there is 5. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. Look at him go. He went way further than when we just had 1. When we just had 1, then he went that far. And when we added 5, then he moves that far. Okay, so we can change our instructions, and we can use our instructions to do lots and lots of things. Yes, Rafielware, let's hear. What do you want to add? What do you think we could do, Rafielware?
Let's maybe add
what about this one over here? We go 3. Okay. So do you want to, let's make that one 3. Okay, very, very cool thinking. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to, I've just got to move us on a little bit, is we're going to see, could we use one of these other blocks? Which one should we use? What about this one over here that points up? If I click on that one, it says move up. It tells me exactly what it does when I click on it. And I can drag this over here. Okay, so now we've got this block over there. Then if I click that, but he didn't go up. Okay, and if I push that one, oh, there he goes up. But if we look carefully at the shape of these, they look like they could maybe, well, did you hear that? Did you see that? Look, they click onto each other. They kind of pop onto each other. Can you make that sound? That's pretty fun. Okay, and now, if I click on this one, let's see what happens. Oh, did you see that? Did you see it? I'm going to do it again. Let's see it. Whoa, he moved forward, tick moved forward 3 times and then went up once. And we could probably change this number as well. Let me change it to 5 and let's see what happens. Tick, go back there. And then goes whoosh and then up. Oh, that was awesome. Did you guys see that? That was really, really cool. Okay, let's just hear from maybe 1 or 2 more people before I tie it all up and we finish off for today. So Zoe, yes, what would you like to say, Zoe?
Did we try it on 4?
Ooh, okay, let's try it on 4 over here. I'm going to try this one on 4. Let's see what that does over there. And let's just try this one. Go over there, tick. And there we go. Huh. So that's one way that we can get tick to move. Now I see lots of hands up and I love that. If you've got questions, then I'm going to ask that you please do email them to me. I'm going to come back to our PowerPoint over here. I just want to quickly summarize what we have done and what we're going to be looking at as we go forward. So we've just done a tour of ScratchJr, and your challenge is to do kind of what we've done now, is for you to get ScratchJr downloaded and working on either your desktop on your computer, like a laptop, or your tablets, or mommy and daddy's phone, or any of those devices. Get them working there. If you're not sure how to do that, then remember you can tell your mommy and daddy to go to our YouTube channel, Africa Teen Geeks. If you're not sure what that is, where it is, you can email me and ask, and you can get it downloaded there. Otherwise, email me at chris@homecode.co.za. I'm going to drop that in here again. There we go. It's in the chat. If you're not sure, if you've missed out, if I went too quickly or anything like that, or if you just got questions about it, then email me, ask me, and I will help you with that. Before we go, let's just have a quick look at what else we are going to be doing over the next few weeks, because we're going to be going all the way up until the 22nd of January. We're going to continue looking at patterns in coding. We're going to be finding treasure with algorithms. We're going to be drawing in binary. We'll be telling stories in code in ScratchJr. Oh, you guys are going to be so smart because you're going to learn how the internet works. And one of the most important ones, and a really fun one that's going to kind of go through all of these, is we're going to debug our code. We're going to figure out what debugging actually is And we're going to see why we need to do it with our code. All right, boys and girls, moms and dads, that's it for us for today. So remember to please, for tomorrow, get ScratchJr downloaded and working. If you struggle with it at any point, then email me, chris@homecode.co.za. Thank you so much for coming and playing and learning. And I'm looking forward to our lesson tomorrow, where we will reflect on what we've learned so far and we'll use ScratchJr. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.